He Qiang secretly pins the gorgeous school beauty Liu Ruyan against the wall, hiding from the entire school.
Holding her chin, he grins like an absolute devil and demands she become his secret lover. Tears well up in her gorgeous eyes as she glares at him, trembling with absolute rage.
She calls him completely shameless, but he just calmly brushes his thumb over her swollen, kissed lips.
When your dad jumps off a building and creditors drag you away to pay off his massive debts, then she will finally learn what real shamelessness means. Now, Ruyan obviously has zero feelings for our main character. But that does not matter. To him, loving her is more than enough. These two actually grew up together as wealthy neighbors in the same luxury villa district. You could basically call them childhood friends, minus those early baby years when they didn't know any better. He has been madly in love with her for over 10 years, but she simply does not feel the same. Turns out her heart belongs to someone else, a poor scholarship student named Ji Boda. But right when our main character turns 18, the Liu family business suddenly hits a massive crisis. In their entire city, the only family rich enough to save them from ruin is our main character's family. Just the night before, our guy accidentally overhears his wealthy parents discussing the family crisis. They actually plan to fund the Liu family, but they want to wait to maximize their own business profits. Classic corporate greed, right? So the very next day, our guy immediately finds a perfect opportunity. He corners Ruyan in an empty hallway, straight up pulling a move straight out of an anime. Slap! He slams his hand against the wall, trapping her in a flawless kabedan. With a smug, playful grin, he asks if it is true that her family business is about to go under. Then he drops the bait. His family can easily save her parents, but does she want their help? Now, Ruyan is the universally adored school beauty, with eyes that literally sparkle like rare gems. With them standing so ridiculously close, he can even clearly catch a whiff of her fragrance. He completely loses his cool and leans in closer, unable to resist. He literally sniffs her like some obsessed creep, looking like a total menace. Honestly, this guy's giving off major, obsessive, red flag second lead energy. His forward moves make her uncomfortable, but she endures. Can his parents really save her family? He nods instantly, leaning right into her space. They are practically touching. She is visibly tense, but she does not push him back. But this favor, not free. He stares her down while she bites her trembling lip. She asks what he wants from her, sounding completely defeated. He keeps it cryptic, asking what she thinks. His eyes are locked on her with pure aggressive intent. Let's be real, anyone with a brain could see right through this, and Liu Ruyan definitely gets it. She goes quiet, finally making up her mind. Her eyes turn firm. She promises to date him if he saves her family. She actually agrees, and he almost laughs. Talk about perfect pacing. She said it herself, with zero force used against her. Honestly, he knew she would sacrifice herself. To save her parents, she'll agree, so he locks in the deal. He immediately leans in for a kiss, but she stops him cold. She blocks him instantly with her hand. Dating is one thing, but she adds some quick boundaries. So she sets the rules. Dating is dating, but they have to keep it private. No one else can ever know. Our guy is instantly crushed, knowing she only wants this to protect her reputation. But mostly because she is terrified of Ji Boda finding out. The whole school knows the beauty. Liu Ruyan has a massive crush on that poor kid. She denies it, but the way she acts around him is basically screaming "I love you" on her face. Our main character actually confessed before, only to get instantly rejected without a second thought. But with her family in trouble, this is his golden opportunity. He is determined to get her no matter what. People say forced love is never sweet. But honestly, he just needs to quench his thirst, so he promises not to tell. He agrees way too fast, making her finally let her guard down. But then she drops another condition, saying she cannot be his girlfriend forever. They need to set a strict deadline for when this relationship officially ends. Talk about keeping our options open. An end date, huh? He pretends to struggle with it for a second, then suggests 3 years. No way, that is too long, she says, shaking her head instantly. She holds up 3 fingers, demanding 3 months max, but our boy has been simping for years and is desperately obsessed to the point of losing sleep every night. Honestly, 3 months is a win, especially since his parents were already going to help her family. He just used this inside info as leverage to completely. And just like that, she literally walked straight into his trap. Absolutely crazy. 3 months. Our boy happily agreed to her terms right then and there. He leaned in for another kiss, and this time, Liu Ruyan did not dodge. Her lips were like cotton candy, incredibly soft with a hint of sweetness. He honestly could not get enough, even though her body started out completely stiff. She was low-key resisting at first, but slowly she started to melt into his touch. By the time they finally broke apart, a single silver thread connected their lips. Blushing like crazy, Liu Ruyan wiped her mouth and whispered for him to visit her tonight. He smirked, but pretended to look totally down, teasingly repeating her invite. Our guy nodded, putting on his best straight face to explain the situation. He told her it was just for a tutoring session. Hearing that, she let out a massive sigh of relief. Typical. Seriously, she acts so cold in class, but deep down she is incredibly gentle.
She is so easy for him to handle, but back in the classroom?
Liu Ruyan immediately locked in and became the untouchable high and mighty school princess again. Meanwhile, while she sat with Ji Boda, our boy sat in the corner, literally miles away from them. Since then, Liu Ruyan kept constantly looking back,
staring right at our MC. Whenever he caught her looking,
he'd lock eyes and smirk. She'd instantly look away like a startled rabbit. Pretending nothing happened, Ji Boda goes, "Ruyan, Ruyan." Seeing her daydreaming, Ji Boda had to call her twice to get her to snap out of it. He immediately asks if she's feeling okay, acting like a caring classmate. But here is the catch. Absolutely nobody in class knows her family business just went bankrupt.
Ji Boda is completely in the dark, and honestly, telling him would change absolutely nothing.
The guy is a poor scholarship kid who can barely afford to attend this school. He can barely survive on his own, so helping her family is completely out of the question. No, it is nothing, Ruyan says, as she shakes her head and looks down. She hides all her pain, and Ji Boda is too clueless to notice a thing. He is just worried she will fall behind, so he smiles and reminds her of their pact. They promise to get into Tsinghua University together, which makes Ruyan pause for a second. She takes a deep breath, trying to shake off all the heavy thoughts weighing her down. With a soft nod, she forces a smile. Fast forward to later that evening. Since our rich main character lives in the same luxury estate, his doorbell rings shortly after he gets home. The family maid, Auntie Wang, opens the door to let the guest in. There stands Ruyan in her pristine white school shirt and plaid skirt, carrying her backpack. She follows Auntie Wang inside, looking absolutely gorgeous from her slightly curled hair down to her shoes. Her red and white sneakers are spotless, showing off her clean and perfect aesthetic. She is the definition of an elegant rich girl, and our main character is already losing his mind. Just thinking about being completely alone with her makes him absolutely thrilled. He jumps up from the sofa, deliberately talking in a loud, dramatic voice so the maid can hear. He says they are heading to his room for tutoring, then walks right up to her. He grabs her soft hand and pulls her straight toward his bedroom. As soon as they step inside, he locks the door so nobody can interrupt them. Ruyan glances around his massive bedroom, walks to the desk, and gently sets her bag down. Then she reaches inside and pulls something out, clutching it tightly in her hand. She looks at him timidly, waiting for him to speak. With the gorgeous girl standing right in front of him, he slowly steps closer. He points at her clenched hand and asks her what she is hiding. Her face turns completely red as she slowly opens her palm in front of him. Inside her hand is a tiny box, and when he leans in to look closer,
it is actually a box of protection, and she is too embarrassed to even look at him.
Her face is burning red, and honestly, imagine how awkward it was for her to buy this. She probably wanted to vanish into thin air while checking out at the supermarket. Our main character is completely shocked because he really just wanted some quiet time with her. Maybe a few kisses, but he never expected things to move this fast. But since she prepared this herself, she has clearly already made up her mind. If he backs down now, he will look incredibly weak, and honestly, who would refuse this? Even though he is a wealthy young heir, he's still 18 years old. He has barely even held a girl's hand before and is still a total virgin. He tells her she is incredibly thoughtful, which only makes her blush even harder. Her blush deepens, but she still forces herself to explain her reasoning. She tells him he needs to use it because she absolutely cannot get pregnant. Seeing how adorable she is, he immediately pulls Ruyan tightly into his arms. He just wants to hold her close, but things quickly start heating up. It turns out she was totally right to bring protection because they cannot keep their hands off each other. A few passionate kisses. He actually pinned her straight down onto the bed that night. In the end, they finally crossed that line and both gave away their very first times. Once it was over, Liu Ruyan put her clothes back on and got herself together. Then she awkwardly walked over to the desk and pulled a notebook out of her backpack. She very solemnly wrote down the date, while He Qiang just watched her from the side with a massive grin. He could not hide his smile at all, just grinning like an absolute fool. Once she finished writing, Liu Ruyan turned around.
She pouted, asking him to help her family's company, and He Qiang confidently promised his father would save them.
He patted his chest, giving her his solemn guarantee. Honestly, He Qiang did not even have to ask his father, but a promise is a promise, right?
Liu Ruyan finally breathed a sigh of relief and actually pulled out her textbooks.
She started tutoring him, and after a while, she packed up. She finally packed her bag and left, though her walking posture looked a bit unnatural. Aside from that striking red stain on the bed, you could not tell anything had happened. After that, they kept pretending they were strangers at school during the day. But at night or on weekends, Liu Ruyan would use tutoring as an excuse to frequently visit He Qiang's house, and by the 20th day of their secret relationship, He Qiang's dad finally took action, not only funding her family's company, but also signing several major projects that instantly brought her family's business back to life. Honestly, the business deal had absolutely nothing to do with the two of them. But in Liu Ruyan's eyes, she played a major role in making this happen. And of course she thought He Qiang did too, believing her sacrifice earned He Qiang's help to persuade his dad to save her family. Because of this, she even bought a special gift to thank him. That day, an exquisite gift box was sitting right inside her school desk. Their classmate Ji Boda saw it and actually thought it was for him. He was thrilled, but then, plot twist, Liu Ruyan picked up the box and walked straight to He Qiang, thanking him for saving her family's business. She told him she specially chose this gift and hoped he would like it. Honestly, He Qiang did not help at all and basically blackmailed her, which is low-key wild. Now, being thanked so sincerely, He Qiang actually felt a bit guilty. With a mixed heart, He Qiang took the box and opened it. It was a men's bracelet, and though he loved it to death, he acted cool, telling her he accepted it but reminding her of their deal. She had to be his girlfriend for the full 3 months, no days off. Hearing this, Liu Ruyan's beautiful face immediately blushed. She nodded, softly saying she knew there were 69 days left. He Qiang could not believe she remembered the exact number of days left. She is actually committed. For some reason, He Qiang suddenly felt really annoyed by that. The moment she left, He Qiang immediately pulled the bracelet out. He put it on, incredibly excited about getting a gift from his crush. It felt like winning a major battle, leaving him on cloud 9, and honestly, we loved to see it. But that bracelet soon caught Boda's attention. Ji Boda spotted it and demanded to know where he got it, staring intensely before rushing over to grab He Qiang's wrist in a panic. He Qiang basically tells him to mind his own business and dodges backward. He shakes off the guy's hand and walks away, too lazy to even deal with him. Meanwhile, Ji Boda is left standing there completely frozen in disbelief. He just keeps muttering that there is no shot this is happening. He convinces himself that Ruyan would never buy this since she hates He Qiang. No way she would give him a gift. See, Ji Boda remembers seeing a gift box in Liu Ruyan's desk with a bracelet design on it. It looked exactly like the one He Qiang is wearing, and he initially got all excited. He actually thought Ruyan was going to give it to him, but he waited forever and got nothing. Now that he sees He Qiang wearing the exact same bracelet, he low-key knows the truth. But since Ruyan supposedly rejected He Qiang before, his mind refuses to accept it. He desperately denies the idea that Liu Ruyan would secretly buy He Qiang a present. No shot, he thinks. It has to be a total coincidence. So the guy just copes hard and refuses to believe He Qiang got that bracelet from her. He refuses to believe she sent it, but a seed of doubt is definitely planted. As soon as he gets back to class, he immediately asks Ruyan about it.
Ruyan immediately panics and denies it, saying there is no way she bought that.
She secretly glances back at He Qiang, remembering when they are alone together. She remembers his absolutely wild and passionate side, which low-key makes her blush. Annoyed, she quickly tells him that she bought that bracelet for their dog, Afu.
She says it fits him perfectly, which is hilarious because Afu is just a guard dog.
Talk about toxic. She is literally comparing He Qiang to a dog just to vent.
Honestly, it is a good thing He Qiang did not hear this. Or else he would have definitely retaliated, but Ji Boda totally falls for her excuse. Since he knows Afu is a dog, he believes her lie with zero doubts. He never even considers that she would lie to him and immediately accepts it. He lets out a huge sigh of relief without even using his brain. Like, bro, who actually puts a human bracelet on a guard dog? Anyway, days start flying by just like they used to. During the day, Ruyan acts all sweet and gentle to Ji Boda. But at night, she belongs entirely to He Qiang. She even starts tutoring him privately to help him study. Honestly, He Qiang's grades were pretty trash in a few subjects. But studying with his secret girl gives him all the motivation he needs. Thanks to her daily tutoring sessions, his terrible grades actually start skyrocketing. 2 months pass in a flash, and his report card is looking amazing. But that also means they only have 1 month left of their secret relationship. One day, He Qiang is in the restroom when he overhears something wild. Ji Boda is talking to another student who asks him about his relationship with Ruyan. The guy asks him if they are finally official or what. Ji Boda smirks and brags that they are not official yet, but basically there. The other guy starts hyping him up like crazy, calling him an absolute legend. He says even a rich heir like He Qiang couldn't land her, but she is submissive to you.
Ji Boda just scoffs and says He Qiang does not know anything about girls.
He claims chasing a rich girl like Ruyan requires patience and playing the long game.
You are right. He Qiang can never compare to you. He waits in the stall until their voices fade out.
Only when they completely leave does he finally step out with a pitch-black face. He is busted. This hard-working poor student is actually hiding some serious motives. He is definitely not as innocent as he seems, targeting Liu Ruyan on purpose. He is just after her massive wealth and status as a rich heiress.
Talk about a total gold digger. He Qiang leaves the restroom fuming.
His mind is racing as he tries to stop this guy. He has to keep things going with her. There is no way he is handing her over to a fake on a silver platter. Today is the final day, so after this, they are completely done. The 3-month agreement is officially up, and she sits up from the bed. She casually puts on her clothes and uses a totally cold voice.
She casually declares it is over while he just lies there.
Nodding along. He acts like he accepts it, but in reality, he is already scheming. He needs a plan to keep her. But get this, our boy already has a plan up his sleeve. He has secret photos of their most private, intimate moments. He can easily use these to threaten her, even if it is dirty. Desperate times. For days, he literally cannot find a single moment to catch her alone. Finally, he spots her leaving the cafeteria with her boyfriend. He immediately follows them and pulls a classic move by bumping into her.
Eyes meet. He gives her a highly suggestive look.
She instantly gets the hint and bites her lip in sheer frustration.
She turns to Ji Boda and tells him to head back first. She claims she needs the restroom, but the guy wants to wait.
Ji Boda responds instantly, because honestly, these two are always glued together. She flatly rejects that and gently pushes him away.
She says girls take forever in the bathroom, so he should just go.
Once the annoying boyfriend is finally gone, she walks over to him. He leads her to an empty, quiet corner and leans in close. He hits her with a direct wall slam, and she asks what he wants.
She is not even panicked.
She just asks coldly, but instead of replying, he tries to kiss her. But nope, she pushes him back with everything she has. Her voice leaves zero room for debate. She says they are done. No more touching. He just chuckles. He smoothly pulls out his phone and opens their most intimate photo. He holds it right up to her face, telling Ruyan to take a look. One glance and she completely panics, calling him absolutely shameless. She cannot believe he took those, but he just slowly pockets it. He is smiling like a total villain here, and honestly, this drama is getting spicy.
He drops the ultimate threat, and the meaning is crystal clear.
He knows Liu Ruyan gets the hint. Honestly, this threat is a total bluff, just to scare her out of her mind. Even if Liu Ruyan refuses his demands, he would never actually leak those photos. After all, he only wants to keep her cute, private moments all to himself. Too bad Liu Ruyan cannot see through his clever bluff, thinking he is completely shameless. Blackmailing her with secret photos is honestly wild, but as an innocent young girl, she has no clue.
She cannot think of any other way out and is absolutely terrified of a potential scandal. So she is completely trapped in his power, hesitating for a quiet moment.
She takes a soft breath, looking like she has completely accepted her fate. She slowly closes her eyes, pouting her soft, rosy lips at the exact same time. Letting out a tiny, annoyed hum, she tries to show how mad she really is. Lowering her gaze, Liu Ruyan's long eyelashes flutter with a touch of pure nervousness. She finally stops fighting back, letting her entire body go completely soft in defeat.
Totally giving in, she stands there as if all her strength to resist his advances has been completely drained away now.
Our main character is definitely not holding back as he leans right in close. Catching the sweet, fresh scent of her hair first, he leans down and locks lips with her deeply. Getting completely lost in her soft warmth once again, even their breathing grows heavy and burning hot. By the time they finally separate, her cheeks are blushing a bright red.
She knits her pretty eyebrows in frustration, but she is still the first to speak up. Her delicate voice carries a tiny, barely noticeable tremble as she speaks to him.
She asks what she needs to do for him to finally delete that photo. Seeing her walk right into his trap once again? Honestly, this is wild. He holds back a laugh in his throat while deliberately pinching her soft chin. Acting totally cool on the outside, he pretends to think about it for a few seconds. Looking back up, he slowly holds up 3 fingers with a smirk. He demands 3 more months as his girlfriend, making Liu Ruyan completely freeze upon hearing it. She instantly remembers all those embarrassing, heart-racing moments from before that she simply did not have the strength to escape from. She frowns even deeper, shaking her head back and forth as fast as she can. No way, 3 months is way too long, offering half a month at the very most.
By the end of her sentence, her voice quietens down to a soft whisper.
Stroking the soft skin of her chin, he intentionally teases her by demanding 2 months instead.
She begs for 20 days, saying she absolutely cannot do any more than that.
Biting her lower lip, she pleads with him with a desperate tone while making another concession. Seeing her teary, reddish eyes, the main character's heart softens just a tiny bit. But he still keeps up his strict act, finally settling on a compromise of exactly 1 month. With the deal locked in, she lets out a huge sigh of relief. Meanwhile, he is secretly thrilled because 1 month is plenty of time to get even closer to her. Little does Liu Ruyan know at this point, she is never escaping his grasp. The author really cooked here. Over the next few days, she goes back to her usual routine, coming over to his house for regular tutoring sessions that both of their parents already knew about. Both families are absolutely thrilled to see them spending so much time together. He is the young master of the He family, and she is the Liu family daughter. They are literally the perfect couple, a total match made in heaven in everyone's eyes. Everyone hopes they end up together, especially his mother, who absolutely adores Liu Ruyan. Every time Liu Ruyan visits, the mom holds his hand to ask a million questions and nags her own son right in front of him. She warns her son that this kid is way too sweet and innocent, so if he ever dares to bully him, she is going to absolutely ruin him. And hearing this, Liu Ruyan instantly gets a brilliant idea. His eyes light up like he just found the ultimate bodyguard. He even secretly pouts at our male lead, looking incredibly cute, spoiled, and smug. But in private, he will tug on the male lead's sleeve and complain in a soft voice. He whines that his mom told him not to bully him, yet he still keeps teasing him. Our male lead just laughs out loud at this and pulls him straight into his chest. Resting his chin on Ruyan's head, he says that not taking responsibility is what really makes someone a rogue.
He even claims he already picked out names for their future kids, so this is definitely not teasing.
Liu Ruyan glares up in absolute outrage, calling him a total liar. His cheeks flush completely red, but he is too flustered to even come up with a proper comeback. So he just puffs out his cheeks, looking exactly like an angry, adorable little rabbit. Honestly, seeing him like this completely melts our male lead's heart. He just pulls him in for a deep kiss, and while Ruyan struggles weakly, it is honestly just for show.
He does not actually push him away, and even his tense fingertips seem to give in.
There is this unspoken, sweet surrender in his touch, but that very night, Liu Ruyan sits alone at his desk, the desk lamp stretching his shadow across the room. He bites on his pen, his eyes filled with a mix of frustration and resentment.
Yet he still stares at the calendar in his notebook, carefully counting down the days.
Only 13 days left, basically just 2 more weeks.
It will all be over soon, he whispers softly to himself, trying to stay strong. He is desperately trying to cheer himself up, but the truth is his body
is already getting used to the male lead, and all that initial anger and shame has slowly shifted into a strange, unexplainable sense of comfort.
Even the sheer panic of sharing a bed with him has completely melted away.
Ruyan keeps dreaming of the day this contract ends so he can run far away. He wants to put this toxic secret behind him, but he has absolutely no idea
that our red flag male lead never planned to let him go so easily.
On the very last day, Ruyan asks to meet him in a quiet, empty place. He urgently demands his freedom, reminding him that today is officially the final day. He begs him to keep his word and delete those blackmail photos, and the male lead just nods.
He puts on a whole show of unlocking his phone right in front of him. With a slow, deliberate tap on the screen, he deletes the photo.
Ruyan visibly lets out a massive sigh of relief, his tense shoulders finally dropping. But here is the catch. The male lead immediately pulls up a completely different photo. It is another secret shot taken while Ruyan was totally dazed and half asleep. He whispers that the first one is gone, but now they need to discuss this new one. Ruyan's face goes completely red as he tightly grips the sheets in pure shock. His knuckles turn white as he stammers out that he is absolutely shameless.
Honestly, I did not see that coming, but our toxic guy always has a backup plan.
If he deletes this one, who is to say there is not a third or fourth? This vicious cycle will literally never end, and he is trapped forever. Only at this moment does the poor guy finally realize the truth. He fell into a trap long ago, and our dominant ML is never letting him go.
He warns her she is never escaping, making her burst into sudden tears.
She plops onto the bed, shoulders shaking.
Crying, she complains that he always bullies her while he just chuckles. He pulls her close. Softly, he promises he could never hurt her because he loves her too much. But she still begs him to let her go.
Total defeat. His cold response leaves absolutely zero room for negotiation. He whispers a flat no, making her sob even louder.
Leaning right in to kiss her. Kissing away her tears, he claims her red lips.
A bittersweet moment tasted through salty tears.
Slowly, her quiet crying finally starts to fade out.
She goes completely soft in his embrace. They just hold each other tightly, feeling the warmth. Her long eyelashes are still wet. She looks totally resigned. But her hands quietly grip his collar, clenching her teeth. She wants to bite him, but hesitates and backs off. Too soft-hearted to do it.
Turns out she still can't bring herself to hurt him.
It just drives his obsession wild. He wants to lock her down forever, never letting her go.
No shot he lets that gold digger win.
Soon, Liu Ruyan completely changes and stops asking him to delete the photos.
She even stops counting down their days together in her notebook.
He thinks she surrendered. But wait, she is actually planning something behind his back.
She secretly eyes his password, trying every prick to swipe his phone or get information.
She is just waiting.
Waiting to delete those photos and escape for good.
But before that chance comes, the college exams arrive. Results day drops. Li Ruyan, Ji Boda, and young Master He all score over 650. But the besties miss the mark.
Our main character totally clutches up and aces it.
They all end up at the same college and their families throw a massive joint banquet.
It is incredibly lively. She slides a bank card right into her palm with a huge smile,
thanking her with a massive bonus. He later finds out that card had $2 million in it.
That is literally a down payment for a future daughter-in-law.
Young Master He is low-key jealous.
He is the actual heir, yet his allowance never topped 50,000.
Liu Ruyan gets a sweet 2 million yuan right off the bat.
He grabs her when nobody is looking. He drags her to a quiet corner, snatching the card right out of her hand.
He says he is keeping it safe.
Honestly, he is terrified she will just hand it over to that scrub, Ji Boda.
Rumors say Ji Boda wants to study abroad. He needs tuition, but this cash came from He Qiang's mom for her. No funding other men.
She cannot even argue since he holds all the leverage. "Why are you taking it back?" she whines. Her eyes well up with tears.
She looks like a sad little kitten, but he is her man.
He pockets the card to tease her. Seriously, his possessive vibes are kinda wild.
She huffs and turns away. "Can you do anything else?" she asks as he leans right up to her ear. With a sly grin, he whispers that he actually plans to take a trip abroad.
Her eyes spark with sudden hope.
She clearly thinks his departure means she will finally get some peace and quiet.
But then comes the plot twist.
He tells her he is obviously bringing her along, asking if she is surprised. Just like that, her hope is completely crushed and she glares at He Qiang.
"What do you even like about me?" she begs. "I will literally change it."
No chance. He pinches her cheek.
He tells her unless she gets surgery to become a guy, she is stuck. She is completely out of options now, slumped over and totally silent. Our main character knows she already planned a graduation trip with her classmates.
And since that parasite Ji Boda is going, there is zero chance he's letting them go.
Just as the celebration is wrapping up, Ji Boda finally makes his move.
Clutching a gift box, he approaches Liu Ruyan with a bright red face. He stammers that he missed her.
He says his heart feels completely empty now that their exams are over.
Sensing it is the perfect moment, he basically starts confessing his love.
He hands over a graduation gift.
It is a brand new bracelet.
It cost over 10,000 yuan, paid for with his exam prize money. Talk about a massive gamble. Since her family is incredibly rich, he thinks this 10,000 yuan is a genius investment. But while Liu Ruyan accepts the gift, she does not even look at it. She just says, "Thank you," coldly.
Honestly, her mind is completely occupied by what He Qiang did earlier.
He dragged her into the restroom and kissed her so passionately. Her lips are still stinging.
Ji Boda did not see this cold reaction coming and just stands there frozen.
He desperately calls out her name. He asks if they are still going on their trip to Erhai Lake.
Ji Boda eagerly promises they will have a great trip, making Liu Ruyan pause.
But she doesn't look back, completely unaware He Qiang already secretly prepared her passport.
She has to fly to the Maldives with him the day after tomorrow.
She doesn't dare refuse, absolutely terrified that he'll leak those compromising photos.
That would completely ruin her reputation in front of every single relative and friend.
Honestly, she is thinking He Qiang is literally her worst nightmare. She just quickens her pace, leaving Ji Boda with zero response. Watching her walk away, Ji Boda's face completely darkens. Bro probably feels it too. Liu Ruyan is slipping further and further away. Sure enough, on their planned travel day, Ji Boda is left waiting forever at the meetup. Only to get a text from another classmate saying Liu Ruyan bailed last minute? No shot.
Still not ready to accept defeat, he desperately tries calling her.
But her phone is completely off, and his texts are met with dead silence.
Zero response. Meanwhile, guess where she is? Liu Ruyan is barefoot, enjoying the gorgeous beaches of the Maldives. She is rocking a stunning white dress and oversized sunglasses.
The sea breeze blows her long hair, and He Qiang is right behind her.
He is wearing a loud floral shirt, carrying her slippers for her.
He wraps his arm around her shoulder and tells her to smile, telling her to stop frowning, which only earns him a soft pout.
Surprisingly, she doesn't push him away, just kicking seashells on the sand.
She takes a few steps forward, then suddenly turns and dives into the water.
splashing He Qiang right in the face. Laughing, he dives right in after her.
He starts splashing her back and she screams while trying to escape. They are just splashing each other, and during all this playful chaos,
He Qiang grabs her wrist and pulls her straight into his chest. He leans in for a kiss, and she actually tries to bite him at first. But as the kiss goes on, she completely melts, losing all her strength to fight.
for the next month they travel to so many places, kissing under the Eiffel Tower and holding hands in Rome's plazas, having street food in Tokyo, making memories everywhere they go. He Qiang makes sure they do all the classic couple stuff,
Taking photos of every sweet moment right until the college semester starts. They finally return, and Ji Boda is already waiting at the campus building entrance.
He finally corners Liu Ruyan over this entire month.
He sent her endless texts, but she didn't reply to even one. Bro is clearly panicking, so he decides to pull off a massive public stunt. He blocks her path under a tree, holding a massive bouquet of roses. He even got classmates to hype him up before she can say a word. He starts singing a classic love song, asking her how deep his love is.
It's actually a decent cover, and his pitch is surprisingly on point. He definitely practiced this. Now all the onlookers are chanting for them to date. Liu Ruyan just stands there, her eyes darting around like she's completely checked out.
And right on cue, He Qiang finally makes his entrance.
He's holding up his phone, casually waving those secret photos at her.
He Qiang's message is loud and clear. If she dares accept Ji Boda's confession, He Qiang threatens to leak her photos everywhere, and Ruyan's eyes instantly lock onto him.
She completely freezes up as reality hits. Taking a step back, she whispers a soft apology to Ji Boda. She tells him she's not ready to date, and He Qiang loves seeing her this obedient.
He's low-key celebrating as he slides his phone back into his pocket. Honestly, he has no intention of leaking anything, just using it as leverage to control her. Meanwhile, poor Ji Boda's smile instantly cracks after getting rejected. But he puts on a brave face, acting all gentle and saying it is fine. He promises Ruyan he will wait for her forever, total simp energy. Ryan doesn't even reply, just keeps her head down and walks away. Sometime later, she overhears her roommates talking about how guys are. They say once a guy gets what he wants, he loses interest fast. Hearing this, Ruyan whispers that once He Qiang gets bored of her body, she will finally be free. But man, she is so naive for thinking he would ever get tired of her. Not only did their toxic dynamic last all 4 years of college, but right after graduation, He Qiang pulls out a ring and proposes in front of her parents. Talk about a plot twist. She looks at the ring, then touches her pregnant belly and tears up as she nods yes. But okay, that is way down the line. Back in their freshman year, He Qiang bought a place right next to campus. Whenever classes were done, he would make Ruyan come over and stay with him. One night, she is snuggled in his arms, tracing patterns on his chest. Out of nowhere, she whispers, "He Qiang, I think I am actually falling for you." He Qiang is completely stunned because just yesterday, she was literally pushing him away when he tried to kiss her in the library corner. Why the sudden change? Sensing something is off, he decides to play along. He waits to see her next move, and over the next 2 weeks, she completely changes. Ruyan becomes super clingy, even pulling him into empty corners for some intimacy. She is texting him constantly, sharing every little detail of her day. Back at his place, she is playing the perfect partner, even hugging him from behind. She whispers in his ear, and he plays along like he is totally falling for it. He lets his guard down, even letting her sneakily get his phone passcode. But then, one night, He Qiang wakes up. He catches Ruyan holding his phone, laughing with absolute triumph. She gloats that he fell for her trap, saying all their photos are officially gone. Starting today, she claims, he can never blackmail her again as she tosses the phone onto the bed. She looks like a massive weight just slid off her shoulders, literally jumping for joy. But He Qiang is not even mad. He just stands up, grabs her hand, and leads her to a locked storage room she has never seen before. You think she actually won? Wait until he opens the door. Ruyan instantly freezes, plastered all over the walls and cabinets, and covering every table are thousands of physical photos of them. There are beach shots from the Maldives, kissing pictures in Paris. And every single private photo she thought she deleted. Talk about final boss energy.
He printed out every single one of those photos, lining them up neatly on the table.
Liu Ruyan's voice is literally shaking as she stammers, asking why he even printed so many. She reaches out to tear them up, but he stops her, whispering that this is not even all. He just smiles and tells her there are way more photos saved on his USB drive back home. Can she really delete them all? Liu Ruyan's face instantly turns completely pale.
She leans against the wall, utterly speechless. But here is the thing, he never told her the truth.
He already knew she had been secretly trying to crack his phone passcode. Honestly, he just wanted to see exactly how far she would go to escape him. But he never expected she would actually fake loving him just to play him. All that effort just to delete those photos. But hey, it is totally fine.
He has all the time in the world to show her his feelings were never a threat.
It was always his genuine wish to spend a lifetime together, for 4 whole years now. Nobody knew they lived together off campus while she played the popular school beauty by day. She would even grab lunch at the cafeteria with Ji Boda sometimes. Or head over to the library to study. But once the sun went down, she would wash off her makeup and slip into his pajamas,
Lounging on the couch for movie nights before they would go wild in the bedroom.
She slowly got used to his home cooking, building so many habits around him.
Then came the day when he, Liu Ruyan, and Ji Boda all ended up, all attending the exact same party. The moment Liu Ruyan walks through the door, she automatically dodges a bunch of classmates to sit right next to him.
Ji Boda follows right behind and takes the seat on her other side.
Ji Boda keeps glancing over, desperately trying to convince himself that there is no way.
Ruyan would absolutely never like He Qiang. Her sitting there just now.
It is definitely just because they went to the same high school and are acquaintances. See, Liu Ruyan actually has this super close best friend at school. Her name is Shen Yuchu, and she low-key has a major crush on him. They ran into each other a few times, and she even asked for his contact. Right now, Shen Yuchu is sitting on his other side as dinner starts. He notices Liu Ruyan constantly shooting these subtle looks over to Shen Yuchu. Suddenly, Shen Yuchu starts pushing him to drink. Talk about a major red flag here.
It is like they made some secret deal, and honestly, his instincts are spot on.
Shen Yuchu really does like him, and she actually confessed this to Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan saw this as the perfect chance to escape him using her friend,
while granting her bestie's wish by pushing her to go ahead and confess.
Getting him drunk was her idea too, planning to seize the moment he loses control.
She wants Shen Yuchu to take him home, hoping some spicy drama goes down.
If they end up together, he will have a brand new partner in his life. Then she can finally get discarded like old news and reclaim her precious freedom. She is desperately wishing for him to end up with Shen Yuchu. But here is the catch. Her subconscious actions tell a completely different story. When some food gets stuck on his face, even doting Shen Yuchu completely misses it. But Liu Ruyan spots it instantly and habitually reaches out with a tissue. Gently wiping it away is a habit deeply carved into them over the years. Just like that, right in front of Shen Yuchu. While Ji Boda just stands there looking completely shocked and confused. Liu Ruyan finally realizes she just did something incredibly embarrassing. I mean, unless a girl actually cares about you, she is not going out of her way to grab a tissue and wipe your mouth. Liu Ruyan has no idea how to explain it. All she can do is smile at Shen Yuchu, hoping to just play it cool.
She is low-key cursing her own hands.
Why do they not behave? She tries to blame her body for acting on its own. Honestly, He Qiang was so used to this dynamic by now that he does not even blink. But Ji Boda, oh, he definitely smells something fishy. After a tense pause, he tries to bail Liu Ruyan out and speaks up to He Qiang.
Do not worry, he says. She was acting on instinct.
To wipe the food off your face. Hearing this, He Qiang just glances over at Liu Ruyan. He does not say a single word, and the moment just awkwardly passes.
But here is the thing. The insanely intimate details between them just keep slipping out.
Like, she literally uses her chopsticks to dump the fatty meat she hates right into his bowl. He Qiang casually grabs her cup. She does not mind. She just picks it up and keeps drinking from it. I mean, they have done basically everything.
together. They know each other inside out, and there is zero boundary left between them.
So why would she care? But these casual little habits?
Seeing this absolute lack of boundaries is literally driving Ji Boda and Shen Yuchu insane. Ji Boda has been chasing her, but they have never been even remotely this close.
But for them, totally normal.
It looks so natural and practiced, they basically look like they have been together for 10 years.
For the rest of the mixer, Ji Boda literally cannot take his eyes off them.
He is just watching their every single move, and honestly, the jealousy is eating him alive.
The more he looks, the more shocked and depressed he gets. His face looks completely dead. He just realized something so wild he does not even want to believe it. Liu Ruyan actually likes He Qiang. She is just too blind to see it. And guess what? Shen Yuchu is thinking the exact same thing.
She is convinced Liu Ruyan is deeply in love but totally in denial, pushing her to chase He Qiang,
while hoarding all the actual intimacy for herself. It feels like she is just being used as a third wheel. What a plot twist. But is Liu Ruyan really that clueless about her own feelings for him? No shot.
She would never let Shen Yuchu get this close. Those subtle habits between her and He Qiang were just built over years of being together.
But she is starting to realize these cozy little boundaries have crossed a line.
She is secretly stressing out about it, but she just cannot seem to stop.
Meanwhile, Ji Boda is convinced Liu Ruyan is just blinded by He Qiang's massive wealth. He keeps comparing himself to He Qiang, and it is driving him crazy. Ji Boda silently vows to win her back.
And the mixer finally ends. Ji Boda actually stopped chasing Liu Ruyan and switched right back to his high school grind. He buried himself in books, studying hard and collecting a bunch of professional certificates.
Trying to pave his career path, but making it is never that easy. Passing the civil service exam is insanely hard, especially for the top spots in He Qiang.
Elite students from all over fought tooth and nail, so the result was predictable.
Ji Boda tried for 3 years after graduating, but failed every single time. Of course, that all happened much later. Throughout their entire college life, Liu Ruyan and He Qiang kept maintaining their secret relationship. As his urge to get close to her grew stronger,
she also began to waver, doubting her original judgment.
Was she wrong? Isn't it usually said that guys lose interest after getting the girl? But He Qiang was built different. As secret lovers, He Qiang never once got bored of her. Instead, his desire grew daily since she was pretty soft-hearted. Pretty face, killer body, and only occasionally a little bit blunt. But she had strong principles, such an intelligent, elegant girl. A gentle, beautiful girl like her is basically every guy's ultimate dream. To be honest, she was normally a highly principled person. But He Qiang was the absolute exception to her rules. Around him, she forgot all her principles and boundaries.
They got completely broken again and again whenever they hung out.
She let down her guard and did whatever she wanted.
At home, she put her toes right in his face.
To fart, she would literally point her butt right at him, treating it like a bioweapon and laughing triumphantly at him afterward. But usually, right after doing that, her privileges were completely revoked. He would pin her down until she behaved. After a few years, their chemistry got crazy. That if she just shifted, he knew exactly how bad it would be. But right around graduation. And then boom, Liu Ruyan faced a massive world-ending crisis. She was pregnant, and since she never messed around, the baby was 100% his, no question. Clutching the test sheet, she rushed straight over to him. She slammed the paper right onto his chest.
What did you do? Could you not be more careful?
Liu Ruyan blamed him completely for making her pregnant by accident.
She had no idea it was intentional. Pregnant? So what?
He glanced at the report, acting completely chill. That made Liu Ruyan's face instantly flush red with anger. She angrily demanded what that attitude was, since she was carrying it. Did that mean he could just not care? He Qiang shook his head. He pulled her close, wrapping his arms tightly around her. In a very serious voice, he told her, "Ruyan, let us get married." Hearing that, Liu Ruyan's eyes went completely blank.
She is completely dumbfounded. Marry? Her brain instantly goes totally blank.
He Qiang nods with absolute seriousness, telling her they are getting married to raise this kid.
Liu Ruyan originally stormed over to demand answers, but she never expected this absolute curveball of a proposal.
Marriage was never on her radar. Everything is moving way too fast, leaving her completely speechless.
She stammers that she needs time to think, clearly overwhelmed by his confidence.
Panicking, she just flees. But he has zero plans to wait. That very day, the parents get involved. With both families now in the loop, his parents drag him to her house that evening. Ruyan is there, but looks like a complete ghost. Standing before the elders, he makes his stance clear. He claims the child. He demands to marry her. He wants to make things official right now. And honestly, seeing him step up like this, her dad is absolutely thrilled. Talk about a perfect match. He slams his hand on the table, praising him for being a real man. The old man decides to set the wedding date right then. Talk about insanely fast pacing. Since they already love Ruyan like a daughter, they approve with both hands. Finally, Ruyan wakes up.
She whines to her dad that she is not even close to being ready.
He just shrugs. Apparently, they grew up together and know each other inside out. You marry him, the old man says, and you cannot go wrong. As an obedient daughter, she cannot refuse. 1 month later, she pouts reluctantly as she finally gets into the wedding car.
They arrive at the venue where even Ji Boda and Shen Yuchu show up.
Interestingly, Shen Yuchu has a new boyfriend now, having completely moved on from He Qiang. Meanwhile, Baroda is still struggling with his exams. He knew they would end up together eventually. But there is no shot he expected them to rush into a marriage this quickly. They all assume it is just a cold business alliance between rich families. At the banquet, the high school classmates table is absolutely buzzing with gossip.
Everyone is whispering about the unexpected twist.
Nobody can believe their legendary school beauty actually married He Qiang in the end. Remember high school? Back then, she was so close to Ji Boda and rejected He Qiang publicly.
Talk about a plot twist. He Qiang actually got the girl after all that?
This has to be business, right? As the gossip continues, one classmate turns to Ji Boda and asks,
Since he was so close to her, does he know why she married him?
Is it really just an alliance? Ji Boda looks low-key heartbroken, staring intensely at the happy couple on stage. During the ring exchange, Ji Boda put on this smug face like he knew the real story. He actually claimed, dead serious, that Liu Ruyan was only marrying He Qiang temporarily. He mumbled that they would definitely get divorced, leaving the rest of his bitter thoughts unspoken. But deep down, he was absolutely convinced that she would never find happiness with He Qiang. He assumed she would eventually run back to him, but honestly, even Liu Ruyan herself felt unsure.
She did not have high hopes for the marriage back then, considering how they had ended up together.
It had mostly been He Qiang forcing the relationship, while she resisted the entire time. But get this, life is full of insane plot twists, and you can never predict how things play out. Right after the wedding, 8 months flew by in a flash. He Qiang and Liu Ruyan welcomed their first child, a chubby little boy. He was incredibly adorable, and from then on, they just lived their lives day by day. A few years later, they had their second child, and even though their marriage started rough, it began as a one-sided struggle filled with constant arguments and chaotic moments. It was far from a perfect fairy tale, but more than a decade slipped by before they knew it. They did not end up splitting up. Instead, living together day and night slowly changed their hearts.
Liu Ruyan gradually began to rely on him, fully settling into married life.
All that nonsense Ji Boda spouted about it being a mere business arrangement and his belief that she would leave him never actually happened. Now flash forward to an extra chapter set over 10 years later.
He Qiang and Liu Ruyan attended a class reunion, and guess who they ran into? Ji Boda himself.
The guy looked absolutely exhausted, and the moment he saw the couple walking in, practically glued to each other.
Behaving so intimately, his face turned incredibly pale.
He forced down 2 drinks before making a lame excuse to hurry out of there. Later, some former classmates started gossiping with them about Ji Boda's current situation. And honestly, this is where the karma gets crazy. He had already been divorced 3 times.
Despite struggling so hard back then to pass the exam, his career had absolutely zero highlights.
He was completely mediocre, which is just how reality goes.
For most ordinary folks, landing a stable government job is already a massive achievement. But those crazy main character storylines where a loser suddenly rises to the absolute top are rare. They only happen to a select few, and Ji Boda was definitely not the main character here. After being worn down by the years, he was nothing more than an ordinary pebble.
Yet he was still constantly scheming to marry some rich woman to save him. But wealthy people are not stupid, and they completely saw right through him.
Or they divorced him immediately, calling out his greedy desire to leech off their family fortune. His gold-digging intentions were practically written all over his face, and now, in his neighborhood, his name is trash. His reputation was completely ruined, leaving him with absolutely no women willing to marry him. His final divorce happened because he got caught red-handed cheating on his wife. His ex-wife's family absolutely wrecked him and even reported him to his workplace. Now, he has even lost the stable government job he fought so hard to get. He is reduced to delivering takeout just to scrape by after hearing all this gossip. Liu Ruyan turned to look at He Qiang, gently reaching out her hand.
She squeezed his hand tightly, her eyes overflowing with pure, deep affection and love.
They say time reveals a person's true heart, and that could not be more true here. In that moment, she felt nothing but pure gratitude for He Qiang's stubborn persistence in the past. She was so thankful for his slightly overbearing love, because without it, she would have suffered. She would have fallen straight into a toxic trap with the wrong man. Honestly, she's probably going to stay stuck with him, eventually becoming another victim of his 3 failed marriages. Just another tragic victim.